And here is today's tip of the moment. With this cable for dust bonnet, bend it back like that. Then should this screw come loose, the odds of you pulling it out of there are pretty much impossible. Now you could go OTT and put a little clamp on there to hold it, but I'm not going to be that anal. But nonetheless, it's a little tip that I kind of do to help prevent future disasters. I mean, obviously if you keep this well lubricated, it should not be an issue. But there you go. I mean, that's nice and tight in my book, good and tight. And bending that around prevents it, or reduces the odds, let's put it that way, of a problem occurring should that bolt come out for whatever reason, because then when you pull on the cord it will go and disappear. But like this, you've got to try and straighten it out, which is going to be pretty difficult, I would say. There you go. Today's tip of the moment. Okay, the cable. Shall we try that again, Gary? The pipe is in place, not fixed yet. It will be fixed, and as I fix it, I will straighten it and get it in the right place. Obviously it's not going to sit there, it's going to be down here so that the radiator don't fuck with it. It's going to take a little bit of fettling, but I will get there. Brake pipe is in and bracketed down using my favourite riv nuts. Decided to put it up this way and keep the pipe out of the way of the radiator, because obviously the radiator comes and sits down in here, goes along there, bracketed down there. It's not touching any of these edges, so vibration it won't cut through, and then sneaks through to the wheel arch. Hang on a second. Comes through and will connect to the flexible hose. At the moment I'm still deciding whether to use the ones that I've got, which don't really match, or buy two new ones. We will see. Experiment time. See all this dust? I'm going to spray it with Scrubble Bubbles. Back in a moment. Coated in Scrubble Bubbles. I'll leave it to self-clean. Okay, and here it is. I have not touched it, I just sprayed that on. Sorry about the echo, I've got my head in the wheel arch. And there it is. It's got it pretty darn clean. Perfection? Yeah, probably not, but certainly saves a lot of work. What do you think? Good idea? Bad idea? Now, all my dedicated subscribers will remember that I am putting in AC on this car. Because of the compressor, it has a single deep groove on the pulley. Therefore, I have to change my pulleys. Now, could I have tried to make up a double V groove for the compressor? Possibly. However, what I've done instead is I've bought two nice new pulleys, and again, if you remember, this one I needed to put a spacer on it. Why? Well, if you haven't followed me, you won't remember, but you can see that the end of the shaft is flush with the flange. That's because when I bought the repair kit from S&G Barrett, they didn't tell me you mustn't press it on all the way. You have to leave approximately, I think it was 10 millimeters, because when they remanufactured, or they manufacture these kits, probably in Chinesium land, they make the shaft 10 millimeters shorter. I guess it saves them a few bucks, but causes everybody else a bloody problem, because they couldn't possibly remanufacture or manufacture items that follow the same spec. Dipshits. Anyway, so I've bought a new pulley there, got the spacer on it, I've got the other new pulley down there, but the alternator that I purchased had a smaller pulley. Oh, let me show you. Camera won't stop. Piece of shit. GoPro 7. Don't buy one. Hang on. Okay, let me take you up the back. That's what I said to the wife last night. Gosh, this is dusty. That's what I also said to the wife. All right, this is the... Oh, hang on a second. There it is. Let me see if I can do this without... Oh, let me put that on that piece there. Okay. So this is the pulley that came off of the alternator. And let me get the new one. And that is the new pulley I've got. The center is exactly the same, but it's a deep groove, and as you can see, it's actually, I was going to say it's aluminium. I think that's a lie. I think this is steel and chrome plated, and it's got a recess in it, and it fits on here very nicely. And then with the nut, now I can't put, because of the length of the shaft on the alternator, I can't use the spring washer, but that's okay. I'll just use some blue Loctite and that will be good. Now, yes, it is a slightly bigger diameter, but I really don't think that's going to be an issue. I think that will be perfectly okay. Just got to make sure I get the rotation in the right direction because of this fan. Or maybe I'll have to reverse the fan. Don't know how that works. God, all these silly shit things you think of, huh? I know. All right. I was going to say I'll give you a tour of my boot, but I won't. But what I will say is those in that box that says TÜV, which is rather interesting because that's a German MOT. That I've got to get fitted. Oh, and look at this. Yeah, that is 5/16 fuel line. That is going to be an absolute pain to run. And that I've got to do. Now, I believe that, I'm sorry, I've got so much shit in here at the moment, that where the fuel pump goes here, then you use a plastic pipe from the pump to a connector here. Then on the other side, I believe it's also plastic that then links up to a steel pipe. Not 100% sure on that. We will see. I may have to go and buy some bigger gauge ethanol resistant fuel line. Here, sorry, let me get the light. Here is the connection from the tank. So that's obviously the one that feeds the pump. I'm not sure what that hole is for. I'm gonna guess maybe the wires go through there for the level gauge, because I've got some wires here and they got to go somewhere, and that's the only available hole. That's what you told me last night. Sorry, I just can't help myself. Oh, look, there's my little body tag there. Tell you what, I know, digressing all the time. I think I'm going to give that a very light sanding. Oh, gosh, look. It's got screws. Oh, okay, problem solved. I'll run a knife around that. I'm going to take those screws out. I'm going to clean that up, lacquer it, and then screw it back on. Why? Because I can. All right. There it is, fitted. I'm sorry, I am diving all over the place. This is a very short and bits of video. And I've got my filters over there. Oh God, I can't wait to get this shit done. But I am progressing, slowly but surely, I promise you. Very slowly. Yeah. And I'm not worrying about the paint having dust on it. I'm going to give it a good wash when I get it out on the street. The only thing I have noticed is there's some chips there, and I have not done anything here. So I think I'm going to have a word with the body shop and say, oi, this better not happen all over, guys, otherwise you're going to have to respray the whole car. But I'll take this, well actually no, I'm going to take a photograph of this, and I'll go down and see him and see what he thinks. I'm hoping it's just because it was that gas cap. We'll see. I mean, I don't see it anywhere else. Yes, I did chip it on the edge of the boot here, but that was my fault because I haven't got a seal on. You know, you'd think I'd have done that by now, wouldn't you? I haven't got the seal on the boot, and consequently I shot it a little aggressively, shall we say. Okay. Hello, XK8. Yeah. Boy, oh boy, there's still so much to do. But I must admit, I am quite enjoying myself. And yes, the t-shirt and the tape is because the harbour's got grease all over it. I didn't want to get that on me. And yes, I've still got to figure out what to do in here. How to tidy up that loop, I don't know yet. I'll work on it and show you when it's done. All right, now go out into that garage and do some shit.